Hey guys, this is JStars360 here with my review of Captain Phillips. As you guys know, I was looking forward to this movie, and I just saw it yesterday, and it was pretty good. Might go as far to say it's a great film, one of the better, if not best, I've seen this year. Not one of the best, not the best, but one of the better ones. So, first off, little side note. So as you know, I was looking forward to this movie. Tom Hanks has a really good track record as movies, so kind of was my incentive to see it. Also, it seemed like a thriller movie, which could be exciting. And now, I did not know anything about the hostage situation this movie's based on. I know I'm an idiot. I should know, but I didn't. So just keep that in mind going in. I had no clue where this movie was going because I wasn't familiar with the hostage situation. And also keep in mind I'm gonna kind of go into spoilers in this review, so if you don't want this movie spoiled, stay out. But if you've seen the event, you already know what happens. In that case, spoilers really don't matter. So in case you don't know, this movie is set in the year 2009. It covers an event where a bunch of Somali pirates took over a cargo ship captained by Tom Hanks. And yeah, it was a hostage situation, and that's what the movie focuses on. Now, I'm just going to go through act by act how I felt about the film first, and then we'll talk about characters and presentation. Now, this movie gets off to a really slow start. I mean, when I say slow, I mean like 25 minutes, nothing really happens. Like, it's mainly just introducing characters, introducing us to the cargo ship, introducing us to the pirates. Like, nothing's really happening. Like, you could just walk in at any point during those first 25 minutes, and you wouldn't miss anything. Which is funny because that actually happened. Like, someone I knew, like, walked into the movie, like, just as the pirates were boarding the ship. And then after when I was talking to him, I was like, it seems like you didn't miss much. And I was like, yeah, you didn't miss much. But yeah, I mean, was it a little boring and slow? Yes, but at the same time, it is kind of necessary. I mean, you can't just throw us right into the action. You need to introduce us to characters and settings, so that way when the action happens, we'll be more invested. So I'm not really going to give the movie that much criticism there. Once the pirates invade the ship, the movie becomes really exciting. You're on the edge of your seat, excited, want to know what happens next. And in fact, I almost wish the entire movie was just that, because it was just great. It brought me back to Die Hard, the isolation, the hostage. It was great. And then a lot of people have been saying this, and I agree. The movie kind of starts to slow down once. Minor spoiler. Actually, spoilers. Tom Hanks. I'm just going to call him Tom Hanks because I think that's. Actually, I'll just call him by his name. When Captain Phillips is taken hostage, the movie starts to slow down a bit. I mean, the next half of the movie is pretty much just him in the lifeboat, them just sitting there talking, chilling out. It's a good scene. It's just the movie kind of loses a bit of momentum. You sort of start to lose interest. And thankfully, towards the end, it picks up again, becomes really exciting. I was really surprised just how much time was spent in that lifeboat. Like, I saw, like, commercials for and trailers for the movie, and I just thought most of the movie was going to take place on the ship. But really, a lot of it takes place. The ship's only a small part of the movie, which surprised me. I'm also surprised, but then again, it's trying to play a realistic hostage situation, which Jeremy Johns pointed out in his review, which he just released, which is that in real life, that's how a hostage situation play out. There would just be a lot of chilling out with the hostage and people trying to figure out what to do and come to a deal. So I can't really criticize the movie too much for that. Also, I'm going to point this out. What was I going to say? Again, I had no clue where this movie was going because I wasn't familiar with the event. There was a point in the movie where I thought Captain Phillips was going to die. But yeah, thankfully, spoiler, he doesn't. And trying to think what else I can say about this movie. Yeah, the movie's like 2 hours, 50 minutes long. You can kind of feel its length at times, especially during the second half, but again, for the most part, I was engaged and excited, so it really didn't bother me that much, unlike some films like The Lone Ranger, which I'll review eventually, don't worry. And so yeah, kind of lost just there. But again, kept engaged. And also, it's weird when you think about it that, number one, the fact that this actually, when the movie's over and you think, number one, this actually happened, and number two, that this happens frequently. So I thought that was pretty shocking. I'm trying to think what else. Sorry if I'm blanking out here. Characters I thought were really likable. I like Captain Phillips, good, strong character. You can see he's afraid at some point. You can see him trying to control the situation. I like the Somali pirates. Not like them, but I thought they were well developed. I mean, you can see where they're coming from. Jeremy Johns points this out. I mean, you understand where they're coming from. They have this boss that they're legitimately afraid of, and that they're following orders from. And the Pirates did a really good job, which is amazing considering they're all first-time actors, which I would never have guessed. Also, I like the parallels between Tom Hanks' character and the Somali pirate captain. Dialogue in the movie is good. It feels very natural. It does not feel like a movie script at all. Like, this feels like what the characters would actually say to each other. Presentation was really good. Like, part of why you're going to be so immersed in this movie is because the presentation does such a good job. I mean, I think it's better than Gravity, if anything, because of how engaged you are without the use of 3D or IMAX. I mean, the film uses shaky cam, which I'll admit can get annoying at some points, but at the same time, you do feel like you're on the water when you're in the boat and the camera's moving up and down and up and down, and you're, what is that, on a big screen, dark room. It really adds to the immersion. There's also, in the lifeboat, they use a lot of close-ups to make you feel very claustrophobic and make you feel enclosed. And also represent how uncomfortable some of the characters might be feeling. And it works well, though I will admit at times it does get annoying, especially during some action scenes. It's really annoying because you can't really get a good sense of what's happening. Again, both those things work really well for the most part, but occasionally they can get a little distracting and annoying. There's also some nice use of the classic point of view shot. Always nice. Hitchcock used it a lot. It worked well in his movies. It works well here. So yeah, overall, really like this movie. Good acting. Kept me engaged during the first half. Slow start, got really good. Lost me a bit in the second half, but end of it, I was in there. And and presentation overall really good. Helped really bring me into the experience. I think someone else would have said even though they knew what happened, they were still on the edge of their seat, which is pretty impressive. So yeah, even if you know the event, you're still gonna be really into it. So I recommend it. Thumbs up. 7.5. I'm kind of back and forth as far not to give it a 7 or 8, so I'm just going with a 7.5. Yeah. Maybe if I see more movies, I'll be more, especially if it gets an Oscar nomination, I might give it an 8. But yeah, one of the best movies I've seen so far this year. So far, fall's doing movie season is awesome, but then again, that's when all the big Oscar nominee movies are released. But yeah. So, that's all I have for you guys now. Expect an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. vlog either tonight or tomorrow, depending on whether or not I get to see Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. tonight. Also, by the way, this next part is just going to be what's come out next. Toy Story's having a Halloween special. I'm going to try and see that and review it. If not, again, I'll have to wait until it's posted online or something. Movie trailers, Thursday, and movie news on Friday.